What if the absolute truths we hold dear are merely illusions, deceptions even? What if our choices are not really choices at all, but predetermined paths that we blindly follow? This is the first tablet of reason, a philosophical conundrum that challenges the very fabric of our understanding. The second tablet of reason proclaims that human decency is not a byproduct of religious belief in a divine entity. Rather, it is an inherent trait that predates any religious affiliation or belief in a higher power. Decency is not learned, it is instinctual, a part of our very being. The third tablet questions the futility of trying to interpret the will of an unknown entity. It is an absurd notion, an impossible task that only leads to confusion and misinterpretation. The fourth tablet, borrowed from the ancient philosopher Epicurus, questions the benevolence and omnipotence of a deity. If a deity is willing but unable to prevent evil, then it is impotent. If it is able but unwilling, then it is malevolent. If it is both able and willing, whence then is evil? The fifth tablet presents empirical evidence against the efficacy of intercessory prayers. A study found that patients who were prayed for actually fared worse than those who were not, challenging the notion that prayer has a tangible impact on reality. The sixth tablet posits that our instinctive conscience guides our behavior, even when no one is watching. This innate moral compass is not a result of religious teaching, but rather a natural part of our psyche. The seventh tablet challenges the notion of divine intervention. If a deity could control the weather, why would it need clouds to make it rain? Could it not simply make it rain from a cloudless sky? The eighth tablet argues against the idea of a grand design. Evolutionary adaptation to the environment suggests a lack of design, instead pointing towards a process of random mutation and natural selection. The ninth tablet criticizes religion for trying to assert the limited mind over the inquiring one. Rather than fostering curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, religion often stifles these natural instincts in favor of blind faith. The 10th tablet presents Tikalik and Archaeopteryx as evidence of evolution's missing links. These ancient creatures provide a bridge between different species, demonstrating the gradual process of evolution. The 11th tablet highlights the progression of human understanding. Astronomy replaced astrology, chemistry replaced alchemy, and philosophy and science began where religion and its dogma ended. The 12th tablet asks why we posit an eternal, complex God when nature in its simplest form can be eternal. This question challenges the need for a deity in the first place. The 13th tablet follows a similar line of logic. If everything can come into being and act naturally, then why posit a god? The 14th tablet questions the independence of a god. If a deity is a being of intelligence and emotion, then wouldn't it be dependent on its more fundamental parts? The 15th tablet suggests that religious beliefs are shaped by local, cultural, and social forces, rather than being universal truths. The 16th tablet questions the existence of various gods throughout history. Were there ever gods of the sun or moon? Did gods reside on Mount Olympus? Is there now an invisible, unknown, and unseeable God? The 17th tablet asks if God revealed himself differently to each faith. This question challenges the notion of a universal deity, instead suggesting that our perception of God is shaped by our cultural and religious backgrounds. The 18th tablet criticizes the indoctrination of young children into religion, labeling it as a form of child abuse. The 19th tablet suggests that the Old Testament is simply an amalgamation of old legends, rather than a holy text. The 20th tablet questions the morality of a man-made God. Is this deity a good role model? The 21st tablet asks why a divine being would need adoration, worship, and praise. Does this deity lack self-esteem? The 22nd tablet criticizes the concept of free will. If a deity grants free will, then why punish those who exercise it with eternal damnation? The 23rd tablet questions the notion of inherited sin. Why should we be held accountable for the sins of our ancestors? The 24th tablet asks why Jesus had to die for the sins of mankind, if we can simply repent and achieve the same result. The 25th tablet criticizes the concept of divine temptation. If we are made in God's image, then why are we punished for succumbing to the temptations that He Himself places before us? The 26th tablet points out the flaw in divine prohibition. Just as children are more likely to touch something when told not to, humans are more likely to sin when told it is forbidden. The 27th tablet asks who is to blame for our defects. Did the divine creator make a mistake when he made us? The 28th tablet suggests that near-death experiences are simply the result of a flood of opiate endorphins, rather than divine encounters. The 29th tablet posits that the concept of reward and punishment from a divine father figure is a derivative of the family experience, a projection of our earthly relationships onto the divine. The 30th and final tablet accuses God of crimes against humanity, a provocative statement that challenges the notion of a benevolent deity. In conclusion, these 30 tablets of reason challenge the traditional notions of religion and divinity, asking us to question our beliefs and explore the possibilities of a universe without a divine creator. They encourage us to seek answers through reason and logic rather than blind faith and dogma. They remind us that our morality and decency are inherent traits, not learned behaviors, and they suggest that our perception of God is shaped more by our cultural and social backgrounds than by universal truths. These tablets do not provide answers, but they do provide a framework for questioning, for seeking, and for understanding.
Have you ever contemplated the notion that we, as humans, are merely electro-biochemical beings, a part of the organic world? It's a thought that truly humbles us, doesn't it? Consider this. What if so-called sins are not manifestations of evil spirits, but rather mental ills? And why, one might ask, are miracles never something blatantly obvious, like the healing of an amputee? Ponder over the concept of God. If there is a separation between God and the universe, what is the purpose of creation? If there isn't, then God becomes a part of the universe, thereby ceasing to be God. Interestingly, the world and the universe function seamlessly without the notion of God. Thoughts, good and bad, come and go, unbidden. They are not the work of any divine or demonic entity, but the product of neurotransmitters. Our Earth is but a tiny speck in the grand expanse of the cosmos. We owe our existence to nature, Father Time, and the guiding star that bestowed upon us this earthly lifeline. We are beings of time, death, and dust. Yet, it is through us that the cosmos has come alive. Superstition may seem advantageous as it creates a universe with us at the center. But remember, our existence is because Pikaia, a primitive marine organism, survived. Sexual orientation, such as being gay, is not a choice, it's biological. The laws of nature are just that, natural. They cannot be dictated or altered. Celibacy, on the other hand, goes against the grain of nature. Ethically, relocating child abuser priests is unacceptable, as is the exclusion of women from any sphere of life. The Bible, like many other religious texts, is not divinely inspired but a product of human thought. The universe, or the world as we know it, is not perfect. Its imperfections are what make it real. There are numerous divine doctrines of dogmas, each with its own interpretation of reality and divinity. The concept of omniscience versus omnipotence fails under scrutiny. And finally, remember, a past imperfect can make the future tense. In summary, we've explored various philosophical and ethical concepts from our humble origins in the natural world to the complexities of morality, religion, and nature's laws. We've questioned the nature of miracles, the concept of God, and the ethics of religious practices. We've highlighted the importance of natural laws and the inherent flaws in the universe. Through it all, we've underscored the significance of critical thinking and open-minded inquiry in navigating our complex world.